And I think we're live. And we are this morning live across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So and if we could, we'd have all the others as well, but they don't want to be, part of the StreamYard group yet. But as soon as they do, we'll tack them all in. So good morning. It's the 18th of May and it's live on socials. And this morning I'm joined by Sarah from Flow Grow Social.
Hi, everyone.
Good morning, Sarah.
Hi, Paula. How are you?
Oh, me, I'm fantastic. I'm loving the fact that it's the middle of the week and the sun is shining. So yeah, it's so far so good. So absolutely. So Sarah, I mean, let's just start off. Actually, I mean, you've got not too dissimilar weather to me because we're actually quite close together. Actually,
yeah, I think it's only 8 or 9 miles because I've come to see you once, which counts, or twice actually counts as business mileage. So
yes, it does.
But in 18 months or whatever it is, we've only actually met 3 times, haven't we? So
yes. And isn't it funny when you first meet people, you have no idea in terms of the geographical location, because a lot of us all started actually by meeting each other online, during the height of the pandemic or the second wave actually, or those times, and you don't really know where people are until you kind of go, so where are you? And then just to find out you was literally just not far down the road at all of about 15 minutes. That was really like, cool. And we still don't meet up as often as we probably should.
No, especially now the weather's nice. We should be having some picnics or something.
Yeah, definitely. So I can see that we are live. We've got a few people watching us. So hi, good morning. If you're here, and you're connected up to StreamYard, just pop a comment in the chat, come and say hi and let us know who's here, and say any questions, don't forget to ask Sarah. So Sarah, should we just have just let people know actually how we met?
Yes, that's a great idea. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the story, or should I?
So well, I guess it was it's November 2020, wasn't it, when we both joined Tech Pixies, because for different reasons we were looking for more social media training, and I think we were on some breakout rooms together, realized we were quite close, so had a few chats I think about search engine optimization when you needed some help and things like that. So yeah, we realized we've got very common values as well as being quite close to each other, and similar skill sets in some ways. So yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yeah.
So that was a great start.
Yeah.
And a great coincidence that we're quite close geographically as well.
Yes. And who knew then, back in November 2020, that we'd be then working and collaborating in, now as we do. I mean,
yeah,
you just don't see when you're on the starting path of any new journey, you really don't know where it's going to lead you. So,
no, not at all.
Because I knew that what I started off doing, I ended up pivoting a few months in. When you started Tech Pixies, what was your plan for kind of going forward?
I'd left the corporate world. I had enjoyed elements of that, but gone on for 25 years, and I knew I needed to use my skills in a different way. And I was actually trying to set up like a candle and soap and sort of craft business when the Tech Pixies ads found me. And so I thought that would be a way of, working on that. But I soon realised that actually that helping other people with social media, given my previous career had been in software for warehouses. So I spent a long time talking to people and helping them with lots of technical things, as well as the warehousing and stuff like that. So I quickly realised that it was kind of a way of me helping people with some more well-known popular software, which is everyone's heard of Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. So so it was just kind of working out how do I do that. So I actually I do a bit of training, and I do some things directly for a few clients as well. So
yeah, fantastic. And I think it's really great actually, Sarah, that using that knowledge and then applying it to something else. But whilst lots of people may have heard of Facebook and Instagram and everything, they don't necessarily know, in the nicest possible way, really, how to get the best from it. Because people know how to put a picture on there or go search for funny cat videos, but not really everybody knows how to use it for their benefit.
And for business as well, because there's some
and that's a big
tips and tricks and some things that you can and can't do. So it's knowing all those sorts of things and knowing how to make the whole thing easier with some tools in the background.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Yep,
which I'm quite happy with, but I know some people find it a bit daunting. So I'm quite happy to help, do that for them or train people to do that.
Yeah, and that's great. So, and this is where actually our skill sets kind of overlap, because yeah, and I think it's great. And I went through tech briefs as well. I can do all of these things as well, but we kind of realized as we were both on our paths together, actually, whilst we had similar skill sets, actually, that not sometimes you'll get things that fire you up, things that really like that kind of go, yes, I love doing this every day. And I have to say that whilst I learned all about being able to be online and posting properly and understanding what it meant for business, for me personally, oh my God, I just didn't enjoy it. And I think that this is then where we kind of came in and worked really quite well then together. I think that was our first kind of like get together working almost at the end of middle of last year, when I said, Sarah, I really need your help. You love doing this.
Yes,
I really don't love doing this.
I like creating pretty pictures, and I've always been fascinated by Google and sort of how people search and things like that. And that's part of the old job. I had to sit there and work out how someone was going to use something in a warehouse. Put yourself in someone else's situation. So, but yeah, so I love doing the pictures for Pinterest, and but also love things like hashtag research and stuff, because you kind of go, oh, how do they think, and type things in and see what comes out. So yes, which are the bits you don't like so much? So that works out really well.
No, it just fries my mind, really. So no, we all have our own niche in terms of what we're really good at. And whilst you're really good at that, me, I like really finding easy ways to do things. And that's kind of where I kind of pivoted my business to, is kind of helping business owners to do these things, but in the really easiest possible way, because I think that life is difficult enough as it is. So yeah, Sarah, morning, Cassie. Look, Cassie just actually joined us. Good morning, Cassie. Morning. So let's go back to, July, August time we put in for my business at that point, because I knew then that I wanted to open the membership, and I knew that, I needed kind of help. There's no way. And I would urge anybody, okay, if you have a bigger project going on, if you can give or offload or work with somebody and collaborate, within your business, to kind of give them that something that is going to help you grow your business. Now, when I wanted help with the Chat with Paula membership, one thing I knew I had to have was a broad online presence. I needed people to know who I was. People weren't just going to come and join my membership because I'd asked them to. And I think that that's really important. And we kind of sat down and we said, okay, so one thing you're going to need is a good organic social media campaign running. And boy, did we run it. We went across, 3 different platforms? No, yes. Four different platforms, because we did Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest.
And Pinterest, yeah. So
we went all full out, and we went all full out for about 6 months fully on all of those, actually, and then started to assess where we're going. And we're still on all 4.
Yes.
And do you know, Sarah, I have to say credit to you, because one thing, I was a Facebook girl. Okay. Never really Instagram. I like LinkedIn. So even though I don't get too much engagement on LinkedIn, I like being on LinkedIn. And the platform I never really got to grips with, and it's because I don't do all the nice, lovely pictures, is Instagram. And I remember I was like, oh, but really Instagram? And you're like, yeah. And I have to say that's where I get my best engagement now, from Instagram.
Yeah. It's much easier. It's much easier platform to get new eyes onto your account. Facebook business pages, it's quite hard work, whereas Instagram, people are just, if you're offering help on businesses or help on something on Instagram, people aren't just looking for cats, and they aren't just looking for girls pelting or whatever. They are looking for crafts. Carol does very well with her knitting.
Yeah.
And people are looking for help with their businesses or on ideas. So if you can offer that on your Instagram account, you'll get loads of comments, and use the right hashtags, obviously.
Yeah. and you see, I think that's where working with you, had I done it by myself and not taken any advice, I would be missing a huge market now. And I think that, you guided me, and you said, no, we have to do this, and we have to be on these ones. And, how right were you, eh? And I have you to thank for that forever and a day, because you opened my eyes to seeing something, and it was really, really great actually that now we have that kind of exposure across a few different platforms. So you really do know what you're doing, don't you? So
well, listen to Joy and the Tech Pixies coaches. It's very good, very detailed.
So let's look at the other things actually. So then moving on from that, actually, Sarah, there was a big thing actually that kind of helped my business grow quite a lot, and it was through the hashtags and the video content and repurposing, and that's something now that you've kind of taken more of a pull on, haven't you? And you're now doing a lot with that.
Yes, because it's quite a lot of effort to make a reel, which is the 1 minute up to 1 minute video on Instagram. And so, if you can repurpose those on other platforms, just as you recorded it, or as you can even go onto your phone on Instagram and download your reel back to your phone with all the bits and pieces you put in it. It takes out the music, but you can download it, and then you can upload it to Pinterest or YouTube, or even put it just as a video on Facebook. But what they'd all the other platforms are trying to compete with TikTok, so they want people to do these short videos, and then each of these platforms has got, if you use the app on the phone, they've got a separate button or area or something where you can just look at other people's short videos, which people get addicted to. So I found out that one of my friends, she's my age, her husband's a bit older, so he's like, must be 55, and apparently spends all night after work just on TikTok looking for funny things and stuff like that, so it's not just the kids on TikTok. So Pinterest and YouTube, they all want people to sort of get that market on their own channels. So so that's what I do. So so particularly Carol Ibbotson, who does knitting. So she's very good. She's doing three tutorials, 1 minute tutorials a week on Instagram, and I take those and then I upload them as an idea pin on Pinterest and as a YouTube shorts on YouTube. Which is giving her great engagement on both of those platforms as well.
Yeah, and I think that's it. It's the repurposing, isn't it? And Cassie just said, I love the tip about downloading reels and then re-uploading to YouTube. It's that whole repurposing content, isn't it? This is why create something 3 times when you can do it just once?
Yeah, and there'll be different followers, and you don't have to do it. You can leave it a week or something like that, so it's not exactly the same content popping up at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
And so for Cassie's benefit, because I know she's interested in YouTube shorts, so when you add a short, it's the same process as adding another video, but the tip is to put #shorts in the in your title, in description. Hope this makes sense. You still need to add tags like you normally do. You don't need, this is quite technical, you don't need the end screen, which is, when if you watch an exercise video, they go, hey, if you like this, subscribe and stuff, all their videos, and they're pointing at things and things automatic. Don't bother with that because it's only 1 minute, up to a minute. But you can use the information card, which is like, it just pops up at the top. But I shift that along and create a list just for shorts as well. Because if someone's on their phone, imagine they're on their phone, left my phone in different routes, it doesn't make noises, and they're on that tab or whatever for shorts, then if you send them onto another playlist, then it's probably helpful if it's the same format, because all of these have to be that portrait size, like your phone shaped. So this wouldn't work on as a short, because apart from it's going to be too long.
Nice.
It's the wrong shape. So the important part is, it needs to look good on a phone.
And do you know, one of the things that I really love, Sarah, is I remember when the first time you said this to me about creating like 1 minute videos, and I'm like, oh, that I can do. What I don't like is creating something that's longer than 1 minute, because even if I screw up, in all fairness, okay, I can just re-record it, which means it goes out perfect every time. And something I was teaching to my group of masterclasses that I'm going through now is all about the chunking it down, because people said to me, oh, I've only got this, how do I create this one thing, and talk about it in 10 different things? I need like 10 different videos. And I'm like, well, if you're talking about the fitness industry, you could talk about shopping. You could talk about what kind of things you've got in your kitchen. You can talk about the best saucepans that you use, because they don't give you a problem, or, how much oil you use or what oil you buy. It doesn't necessarily, and then you can talk about all of the exercise. You can literally chunk it down and pull out the smallest of threads to talk about, because 1 minute is not that long, is it?
It doesn't even have to be a minute as well, because it's just like everyone's got short attention span. You can, so for reels, because, some people aren't confident with talking to the screen. So if you can, hi, Mariella. So yeah, it's best, people get more engagement if you're showing your face and you're talking, or, some people do dancing and stuff like that. I know that's what TikTok's all about. But, if you're not comfortable with that, if you don't want to talk, you could just record yourself pointing at things and then put the 5 points in text above you. Yeah, like that, or something like that. Or maybe you could do a screen recording on your phone of how to do something, and then talk. You can add a soundtrack of you talking afterwards, and there's different ways. Or maybe you could just create a Canva graphic video that moves and then talk about that as well. So there's different ways of doing it.
Yeah, no, and actually Cassie's just come up with that sounds great. I wrote it down. I repurpose Canva stuff by posting it as a carousel to Insta and changing it to a video for YouTube. Thing is, it's a hassle to do shorts, but the thing is, it's a hassle to do. So shorts sounds good. Thank you. That's great, isn't it? Really great.
Especially if Cassie's aiming at the kids, because they'll definitely be on YouTube, won't they? And they'll definitely be on their phone.
Yeah, YouTube.
And they're probably all, right in that, wherever, I can't remember it is on YouTube, but they'll be on the short screen looking for, I don't know, funny cats, dogs, kids, exactly. Whatever they do.
Exactly that. So, Sarah, what have you been making for everybody in the last, few weeks?
Well, as we're on the subject of short videos of this, I've pulled a few things together because it's a checklist I had for quite a while. So yeah, I've made it into a proper download so it's about creating reels and remembering to do. It's a nice checklist. You can print it out and tick it off as you go along. So it's all the points you need to include in reels with a little bit of preparation, and all the buttons. And also, because I know it could be for beginners, I've got a few helpful tips there of, like, if you're just testing it, how not to embarrass yourself if you didn't want to show yourself testing reels to the whole world, because they are viral. This is it. If you put them on Instagram, you can put hashtags in them, but it will just send them all over the place. Particularly the first one you do will probably get thousands of views, or a few hundred. So
I remember when you said that to me, and you're like, Paula, just remember the first one you pick will have the highest view content. And I'm like, surely, but it had like 5,000 views, and I'm like, and they're still rising. I don't know where these people are coming from, but I'm like, oh, now everybody knows I love Zapier. There you go, because that was the very first reel I put out. So, but yeah, I suppose it's be careful. That was Sarah's tip to me. Be careful with the first one you put out, because that would be the one that gets seen the most. So it's available to download. You put the website there,
but when this is over, we will I'll put some comments in and some links.
Cassie said that the kids are all over YouTube and YouTube Kids now. So I know that my two watch YouTube and YouTube Kids. So one on each end of the scale, obviously. So but yeah, I mean, YouTube is huge business now. So I suppose shorts are and are shorts what they put like when you kind of have to have that 5-second ad. Are they used there, or where are shorts used on YouTube?
Well, it's definitely on the phone. It's got its own feed. And I think if you look at someone's account, it's got a section which is shorts, and then the other ones.
Okay. So, because I don't, I suppose it's something to have a look at, isn't it? In terms of, I wonder then if it's just like kind of paid ad content that kind of goes into those, the 5-second things where you kind of then forced to watch something for 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do a YouTube, if you do YouTube ads. I'm sure there's one that will pop up on the shorts feed. But again, it's a bit like doing stories on Instagram, story ad. It needs to be the right format to pop up in the right place, like that.
Good. And so Sarah, for anybody watching this on replay, do you want to tell everybody what it is that you've kind of got running at the moment, what you're offering, and what your services are, really, so they know what to contact you for?
So my services are Pinterest account management, so I can do everything for someone if you want lots of engagement on Pinterest and to grow on that platform. And I'm doing websites now, so I'm leaning into that, the software engineering that I did for trained in. I've got an MSc in scientific computing, so
well, you may as well use it.
Yeah, now I'm putting that into place. So I'm combining, the making things nice with, Canva and website building and stuff like that, with a bit of, some of the engineering in the background. I've got hashtag training coming up again in July.
Yes, the hashtag training is amazing. It really is amazing.
Yeah. And thank you.
To know that, I mean, yeah, I was never, again, something else which I was completely oblivious to was hashtags. Hashtags can grow an account, and I'm like, but they're just those kind of little things that kind of sit there that, go, but really, who knew that people follow more hashtags than they do, accounts almost, it's one of those things that just keeps popping up and again. Since then, I've started following hashtags.
Yeah, well, you have. Good, yeah. Yes. So that's different if I go back to Pinterest, which is another one of my passions. It's Pinterest doesn't use hashtags. It's all about keywords. So it's a bit like if you do put something on YouTube, or you're going to write a blog, you have to do your research in Google or YouTube or on Pinterest and find out what the key, what's it dropping down in bold, what are the keywords. And then the videos on Pinterest, they want them as an idea pin, which is a separate area. And the trick there, because unlike the other pins, it doesn't take you to the link on a website. People can go and look at your profile. So you then have to put an extra, after the video, put an extra like little mini video, which you can keep repeating every time you do one, but with the call to action, like follow me for tips on X, Y, and Z or something like that. So and those seem to work quite well.
Okay, so we've got a question. When in July for the hashtag training? Should we put have you got the link already going? We can pop the link in the chat underneath here, can't we? Once we've finished.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
I've actually got that in my calendar, I think. Should we go and have a look? So Sarah, what else have you got coming up?
That's
so you've got the hashtag training. You're doing some websites.
Yeah, we're doing Supercharge Your Lead Magnet in September, aren't we?
Oh, we are. Yes. We are, and that's. I'm kind of looking forward to that. We always get such a great response, and I just think, it's lovely to be able to have it. So, and working together and just combining and pulling our skills together to be able to share that with people is, that's really good. So,
and some of the
I can't find the date. I will drop you.
I've got 4th of July underneath. Rings a bell. It's like, I think it's that first week of July.
Ooh.
Or it could be the second week of July.
4th of July. I can't see it here. We will drop the link in definitely, so that way then you've got access to it.
I think it's the 6th of July.
Oh, let's go and have a look. That rings a bell. Oh, Sarah, hashtag training, 6th of July, 1 till 2.
Yep, that rings a bell.
Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. So, 6th of July. Let's pop that in there. Link to be added. There we go. Right, I just popped that in there for you so you can actually see that. There we go. Okay, 6th of July. We'll pop the link in. So, no, that's good. Oh, what's Cassie giving us? A repurposed porpoise.
She's some emojis.
Post okay during your lives.
Yeah.
There you go. You completely lost me now. Okay, it doesn't take a lot.
She's testing emojis as well.
Oh, okay, that will do it.
Yeah, you've done that one. Good. Tick. StreamYard does emojis.
Yeah, actually, you don't know these things unless you try. So,
so I'm doing websites now. So if someone wants, interested in having a website built, for
where do you build the websites? What platform?
I use WordPress.
Okay,
which is very flexible and good for search engine optimization. So, come and contact me on through my account or my email. So I'll pop all that in the chat later on.
Underneath, yeah. Perfect. And I think that's it. If anybody's got any questions, they can just pop them in the chat underneath and tag Sarah. And I think that we're kind of done here. So Sarah, I just actually want to thank you for joining me this morning and saying that, I always bring on people that, are in my membership or that I've worked with, and a lot of people that I tend to work with have got, like you said at the beginning, kind of like similar values in terms of not only our business, but we work really well together. And I just think it's great having somebody like you that I can literally just, I say pick up the phone, but I pick up the phone and just message you. Actually, that's more like it as opposed to calling you. But it's really great because, it's nice. You're so great to have around. It's literally like there isn't anything you don't know about my, the side of the business that I'm trying to then, build. And I don't know where my business would be today had you not have had that huge input into it, starting from the middle of last year. So thank you. So, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of people that kind of want to now run to you and start working with you and go, help me, which would be great. So.
Well, thanks for inviting me on. It's been lovely to chat.
Yeah, no, it's always lovely to chat. So thank you very much. And like I said, any questions, just go and pop them in the chat box underneath or tag Sarah. So thanks a lot for now. We'll see you next time.